take another step up
Yeah.
towards Mike there, please? Thank you.
You running those shoes?
No, I don't usually. Well, yeah, I would not. Yeah, they're fine. They don't. I'm not a big shoe guy. I take whatever they give.
He's a Saucony guy, right?
No, I'm just wondering if you run. You have a pair
I
of
don't do a
runners.
lot of run. I do bike and elliptical and bike on. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. And occasional run on the beach.
You want me to hold it?
I save my runs for the beach. I don't know how much where.
But he only does that when he's doing Baywatch commercials.
All right, my agent.
On the road, got to go back out on the road in this league. How hard is it? I mean, everybody talks about it, but
Yeah, well, interesting will be a new facility. That see what their new place looks like. I know they went smaller, and as far as what I've heard, it cut it in half. Really, that was a pretty nice facility they just got rid of down there. It was a little too green for me, but we'll see what this one looks like. But it'll be an easier trip than our first couple. We can drive, and hopefully we don't run into any issues, which we've run into on a regular basis here. But it's you're playing somebody good. I mean, it's they ask you, do you look at the schedule? I was, we're not when it comes out. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been in the best conference every year. You just know you're going to be playing somebody good, and there is no other way to look at it. And prepare your team, get better. And I know it's Saturday 3 o'clock tip-off, so we'll head down there tomorrow after practice. Get down there early. I guess we'll go shoot down there beforehand. We won't be able to get in there in the morning. They gave us the early morning time slot, so I don't think we can get that. So I think we'll shoot down there. So that'll be our first time looking at the facility. But certainly know the team, know the personnel. Get some new guys. Shoot the three, but they are certainly they're experienced as well. But Walters is obviously a big-time freshman, top 5 guy in the country, highly recruited. Everybody wanted him, and then they got the big transfer. Dennis was a kid everybody was recruiting. He took all the visits in the late, and MAC Player of the Year, and he's a great. I love it. I love his vision. Sees the floor well, gets off the ball well. So we got to go. We got to keep getting better. We got the 2 days of practice here, and yesterday was obviously, I guess, travel day, off day. We got back late, but we got to get better defensively. I mean, we didn't do the job early in the last game. Luckily, we got it done in the second half defensively, but really it was our offensive execution in the second half that got it done for us. So, but defense will be what we're really working on. We got to take away their three-point shot. They're a team that can really shoot it. Obviously, I think they're still tops in the country. I don't know where I haven't seen the updated ones. I think they may have dropped a little bit, but it's what they do.
There have been a couple of times this season where teams fallen behind in the first half, made a second half comeback. I think you're 3-1 in games where you've trailed by 10 or more points this season. Can you talk a little bit about what you think the challenge is out of the gate for your team at times this year?
Well, I mean, we've played 20 games against good opponents, so we're going to be down sometimes early, and that's, I guess, the trend is that it happened twice in a row. Came back out a win, came back and lost by 1. The first there were 2 different ones, so I don't think we turned the ball over in the first game. We didn't turn over in the last game. So 2 different things, 2 different teams, 2 different venues. You want to play great for 40 minutes, but no one does, and you gotta know there's going to be a run. We just happen to have 2 early, and both we came back from. But you don't want to be down 18 in the first half. So. It usually comes down to defense doing it. Sometimes teams are going to make shots too. You can defend it well and make shots. I don't think that was the case in those 2 games. But there'll be stretches when they make some tough shots, and you just got to withstand it, stick to what you're doing, get good shots on your end, and believe in yourself. But our thing is we got to be better defensive. We got to take away the 3. We're emphasizing no layups as well. And then turnovers is, our numbers aren't horrible, but it's always the challenge, and that hurts you on offense, hurts you on defense, especially with a team like us where offensive rebounding is such an important part of our what we do. So, I'd say that's certainly the thing for us offensively. We got to get shots up. We can't have to turn the basketball over. And I like the shots that we're getting. Our shot selection. I mean, we've progressed with with all new guards. Offensively, we're getting there. Defensively, we're not where I want to be, and that's to be expected, I guess.
I think E-Man played all 20 minutes the other night. What can you kind of say about him stepping up? And I know he always play hard, but it seems like he's taking his motor to even another level.
Yeah, I mean, we were in the second half. We were into him in the second half, and the guys found him. They got the ball in the right place. We executed, and he made the right play. It wasn't so much the scoring, but he made other guys guard him, delivered a pass, played in space. Wouldn't lead directly to an assist, but got us space and playing on the other side of the floor. So, the big thing for him this year has been, his playmaking is so much better than when he got here as a 5-man, and then guarding on the perimeter. Had a few breakdowns last game, but he's been really good for us. And probably the breakdowns, because the game before he was really good, 2 games before he was really good that defensively for us. And but playing all those minutes, you're going to have some slippage, I think, and I worry about that on the defensive end for us. So that wasn't by design, but he was playing well. We got down early, and we survived it.
How hard is that transition from a player to make when you go from basically an undersized 5 to a legit?
Usually not done. It's usually not complete. There's usually a failure rate waiting to happen, but he's worked at it. He's played hard. I don't know how much he played in high school and prior to, but generally, we deal with it all the time when we're recruiting guys. Not so much transfers as much. Guys have put in production, have produced a little bit at one place, but completely changing their game. But in high school, you deal with a lot. But the biggest challenge for me is those guys is guarding on the perimeter. And even last year, while he was shooting the ball from 3 and he shot 40%, defensively on the perimeter, he was not great. And he's good now. He is good now. And he's just, they're just used to running back to the paint, and that's what they've been doing their whole lives, because that's what they told him to do in the middle of the 2-3 zone. But he's gotten better, and he plays on the perimeter. He guards the dribble better and guards the shooters better on the perimeter. So there's a whole lot to it, but I always think the defensive thing's the biggest challenge for the guys, because then they can't guard on the perimeter, then they can't get on the floor, and then everything's out the window.
When's it fair to start asking how many teams does this league deserve?
I mean, it's probably they start those brackets in July, I think. So it's always. I mean, I'm not judging you, Brian.
I mean, is it a 10-team? I mean, is it a 10-team?
I think we'll always have more NCAA tournament teams than get in. I mean, I think we're going to run into it more. Last year, Oklahoma State was an NCAA tournament team, but because of their conference record, which to me shouldn't be factored in. I mean, somehow somebody decided that the media, I think, decided November games are more important than playing better teams in January, February, and March. I mean, like it makes no sense to me. I mean, everybody balances their schedule depending on what conference they're in, and to say differently is we'll have a top 10 schedule at the end of the year, and people are right about it. I had somebody comment about our schedule. I said, "Oh, by the way, our strength of schedule is number 1 in the country the rest of the year."
Yeah.
But that didn't make it in the. He somehow forgot to put that in the paper, the article. So, you don't want a fact to get in the way of a story that you've already pre. But I just think that's something we're going to run into. I think Oklahoma State was a perfect example this year, and now with more teams, I think it could be maybe one more. And I've talked to the conference about down the road when we go to 20 games, because I think that becomes a factor as well. I mean, they won't ask me, but I've been the guy that's been in these conferences for the last 20 years. I know what they look like. I know what happens, and it's just game after game after game, and it's just. But you shouldn't why would a game against even a lesser opponent. To be honest, it turns out to be a lesser opponent in November, December. Count more. At the end, it makes no sense. It talks about 32 games. It doesn't talk about games in November and December. So those are the challenges. But I think but we'll see how some things play out. And the thing that everybody brings up is the year we were a number 1 seed at Pitt, and we had 3 number 1 seeds. We had 11 of 16 made it. 11 of 16. Well, there was a clear difference between 11 and those other 5. Like, they didn't beat the other 11, and that's not the case in this league since I've been here. There hasn't been that separation.
Coach, what's been your reaction to everything that's happened with the women's basketball team and then beating UCF on Tuesday?
I'm supporting them in every way possible, and it was good to see. I didn't get to see the game, obviously, but it's obviously we all deal with injuries and prepare for it and support them all the way through. So it was I don't know who they play next. I know they missed Kansas State and Iowa State, and then who do you got next?
Tech.
At Tech or
Yeah, at Tech.
So, but we see them out here practicing and working out. And I was just actually talking to one of the girls, one of their new players, who I know. I had to coach against her dad and Davis, and way back. So that's kind of interesting. She just came in, joined the team, but I guess I don't have walk-out trials before, but now they're having them. So we have 4 or 5 walk-ons. But she, it was funny. I said, I know you, and she goes, yeah, I met her when she came through. So her dad coached at Montana when I coached at Northern Arizona. So I remember when they came to campus, he reached out to me, Coach Davis, and the group. So yeah, that's it. But we're always down in there, same section downstairs, and they're up here, so we see them all the time. And I wish them luck in the Texas Tech game going forward.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the progression you've seen from Ernest Uday, especially on the rebounding end? Because it looks like he's growing in that department.
I mean, it's I've said it, I think before, like, I hadn't seen him play in high school, and obviously we knew that he was highly ranked. Seen the name, obviously at Kansas, but he really didn't play at all at Kansas. I mean, we were actually recruiting another kid that left there that had played more. We were trying to get him, and then all of a sudden, a guy told me, a friend of mine, Ben Howland told me about Ernest, and a friend of him had recruited him hard and knew the coach. And we knew they had a coach, but just told us what he was looking for, and he wanted an opportunity to play. And but then watching him play, I was like amazed by his athleticism. The first time I watched him play was USA Basketball, because it was the last minute we got him on trials there. They needed some size, but I was just amazed to see how fast he could run, his athleticism. But then I also totaled up. He ended up not making it, and they needed a big guys. I mean, obviously they struggled. That team struggled. I think they came in 6th over there, and they needed size, but he just didn't. He didn't produce. He didn't get rebound. I'm watching him. I was like, how's this guy not getting more rebounds? And so really, Coach Benford, our staff, all the GAs, I mean, he's in here constantly, and we're watching film with him just to watch what so many wasted movements is what we saw, and out of position, and just trying to get him to be in the right place. And you see him, he's playing hard, but it's not at the right spots in the right places. And so we're seeing that progress where he's going. So we chart every practice, we chart every game, crashing and blocking out. And so we show him the percentages. There's green is good, red is bad, and we got the whole diagram up there. Everything is statted with us, and so he's really taken to it. It's like, how is he not getting rebounds? He's got good hands. He's that athletic, that big, but just not in the teach them all the different moves. We have 5 moves that we have going to an offensive glass that we talk about. So we go through those every day. So we just get better, obviously. And there's no question about it. I mean, the free throw shoot, I gave him at Oklahoma State. I think that's what it was. At Oklahoma State, we got there. We shot the night before. Is that what we did? He went and he went there and he shot the entire time. And we were tired, and we had the trip was and we got there late. And he went and shot and the guys will shoot, but some do more than others. But he shot the entire time. He shot free throws the entire time, which I said to him as he was shooting. He goes, and I was coming off the 8 for 10 in the last game, and I said, when you first got here, you would have been talking the whole last 20 minutes. So it's you've earned it. You got the reward the other day by going 8 for 10, and but yeah, I said that to him over there when it was the night before. We just give him free shooting in that when we get there, because you never know if you're gonna get there. So you don't have anything too scheduled, too planned out, because I think we've missed the other 2 that we wanted to get to and shoot on the night before. So we'll go down to Baylor and shoot beforehand. I don't know if Bucky's blocks us or the grand opening down there. Hillsdale, or is that? Do I got it right?
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough.
Is there one in Hillsborough now?
It's opening this week. I just read about it. It's a big day. The
They got
Eclipse.
one
They're
in
opening it with the Eclipse.
They're not even
So
60
same
miles
time.
apart.
I like that.
Do you guys follow that stuff?
All right.
Anything else for Coach?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's an Eclipse.
Well,
or
anyway,
something.
is there?
It's like they're putting it together with like the grand